Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're tackling a really popular goal, waking up at 5 a.m.
hmm
Maybe you're listening because you want more personal time or, maybe just that productivity boost.
Yeah, lots of reasons people aim for it.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. Let's dig into some really actionable steps to make this early start happen. We've got 10 key strategies from our source material to guide us.
Exactly. And it's less about just forcing yourself with willpower
Yeah.
and more about making smart tweaks to your routine, making
Oh.
it smoother.
Right. Okay. First point, a consistent bedtime, aiming for around 9 or 10 p.m. Seems basic, maybe.
It does, but it's really the foundation. You
Yeah.
can't consistently wake up early if you're going to bed at random times.
True.
Think of it like your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm. Keeping that regular sleep schedule helps it run smoothly, makes falling asleep easier, waking up easier, even super early.
And the source mentioned, like, actually getting in bed by 9:30 and crucially keeping the phone out of the bed.
Yes, that specific timing and routine, it really reinforces the signal to your body.
Okay, that makes sense. And that leads straight into point two, limiting screen time in the evening, especially that last hour before bed. That's a tough one for me.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's hard for everyone, I think, but it's so important. That blue light from phones, tablets, computers,
Yeah.
it actively suppresses melatonin. That's the hormone telling your body, hey, time for sleep. So scrolling right before bed, it really can throw things off.
So what's the fix? The source said something about sleep mode.
Yeah, switching devices to a warmer light setting, like a sleep or night mode after, say, 8 p.m. helps.
Hmm.
But honestly, even better is just putting the screens away entirely and maybe reading an actual book.
Huh, a physical book. Okay, point three, having a morning incentive, a reason to, actually want to leave the warm bed.
Yes, motivation is key. It's about creating a sort of positive anticipation. If you know something you enjoy is waiting for you.
It pulls you out of bed.
Exactly. That psychological pull makes a big difference.
The source had good examples like brewing your absolute favorite coffee and just sitting with it, or maybe reading a manga in peace before the day gets crazy.
Simple pleasures, but effective.
Hmm.
Okay, strategy number 4 is a classic. Alarm clock placement.
Ah, yes, the old put it across the room trick. You have to physically get up.
Right. It sounds simple, maybe a bit annoying, but it works because it fights sleep inertia.
Sleep inertia, that groggy feeling.
That's the one, that feeling where you're awake but not really awake. Making yourself move, actually stand up, helps shake that off much faster.
So across the room, or the source even mentioned using a smart speaker alarm, like in the kitchen.
Yeah, anything that forces you out from under the covers.
Got it. Point five, morning sunlight exposure. Get some natural light ASAP.
Super important. Just like avoiding blue light at night helps you wind down, morning sunlight does the opposite.
How does it work?
It helps reset that internal clock, that circadian rhythm we mentioned. It basically shouts daytime to your brain, tells it to be alert.
So just fling open the curtains right away.
Yep. Open the curtains,
Mm.
maybe even step onto a balcony or near a window for a few deep breaths, like the source suggests. Feel the light.
Nice. Okay, point six, avoiding evening caffeine. Seems obvious, but
But it's easy to slip up. Caffeine's a stimulant, and its effects can last for hours, longer than people think.
so that 4 p.m. coffee could still be messing with your sleep at 10 p.m.
Absolutely. It can make it harder to fall asleep and reduce the quality of the sleep you do get. The
Ugh.
advice is pretty clear. Switch to things like herbal tea or just warm water after maybe 5 p.m.
Good rule of thumb. Point seven relates to food, regulating meal times, especially dinner.
Yeah. Eating a big, heavy meal late at night isn't great for sleep.
Why is that? Digestion.
Exactly. Your body's trying to rest, but your digestive system is still working overtime. That can definitely disrupt things. Aiming for dinner by, say, 7 p.m. and maybe choosing lighter, easier to digest foods can help.
Makes sense. Number eight, incorporating light exercise during the day.
This is about promoting good sleep pressure. Using your body during the day helps you feel appropriately tired at night.
But light exercise, right? Not like a hardcore workout right before bed.
Definitely not. Intense exercise close to bedtime can actually be too stimulating, make it harder to wind down. Think more like a brisk 20-minute walk at lunchtime. Or some gentle stretching or yoga in the evening is great too.
Manageable things. Okay, point nine. Limiting or shortening naps. What's the deal with naps?
Naps can be great, but long naps, especially late in the afternoon, can steal your sleepiness from nighttime.
Ah, so it makes it harder to fall asleep later.
Precisely. It reduces what we call sleep drive. So if you do nap, Keep it short, like 15, 20 minutes max,
Yeah.
and try to do it before 3 p.m. That way you get a little refresh without messing up your main sleep.
Got it. Short and early. And finally, point 10. Defining a clearer reason to wake up. This feels like it loops back to the incentive idea, but maybe deeper.
It is deeper. It's about your core motivation, your why. Having a really strong, defined purpose for getting up early gives you that grit when the alarm goes off and bed feels so good.
So more than just, I want more time, like, what will you do with that time?
Exactly. The source mentioned using the time for focused study, like learning English, or maybe working on a passion project like writing a blog. Something specific and meaningful to you.
Wow, okay. So it's really a whole system approach, isn't it? Not just one magic trick. Bedtime, light, food, movement, motivation.
It really is. It's about aligning your lifestyle with your goal. And, you don't have to tackle all 10 things tomorrow.
Right.
Maybe just pick one or two that seem doable, that resonate the most, and start there. Build momentum.
That's really helpful advice. Thanks for walking us through all those points.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you listening. Really reflect on which of these feels like the easiest first step for you. And connect it back to that why. Why do you want this extra time at 5 a.m.? Understanding that personal connection is what really makes new habits stick.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today,